Hey everyone, how's it going? Matthew Bailey here, and with me I have my good friend Matthew Davis Media.
Hey, what is going on?
And as you can see, we're actually in his setup now because we're gonna be doing a video on my channel where we talk about our most anticipated movies for the remainder of this year through at least 2021. And I'm gonna let him start since he's much more of a movie guy than me. So, what movies coming out for the rest of the year are you most anticipated for?
Well, let's see. We still got No Time to Die coming out in November.
Yep.
I'm also looking forward to Disney Pixar's Soul, which
Yeah, I'm excited for that one
is
too.
supposedly supposed to be coming out in June. Still, so far as we know, and I'm looking out because it really depends if they're still coming out in
Yeah, that's true because
2020.
of
Let's we've talked about it too many times
yeah,
already.
that's true.
I'm pretty sure Black Widow.
Yep, that doesn't look to be getting postponed anytime soon.
Uh, I'm just looking to see. Wonder Woman 1984. Still looking forward to that. Top Gun 2, which comes out this June. Free Guy, which is that new uh, comedy film with
Ryan Reynolds,
Ryan
yeah.
Reynolds. Yeah. Tenet, Christopher Nolan's newest film, comes out in July. Uh, I think, as far as I know, The Conjuring, the Devil Made Me Do It, which comes out September 11th. The King's Man, which is the third Kingsman movie. I think it might be a prequel. I'm not entirely sure, but uh, Halloween Kills, which is the sequel to the 2018 movie, and you got Godzilla vs. King Kong, West Side Story, which is a remake to the 1960s film, and Steven Spielberg's actually directing it.
And don't forget about the Eternals.
Eternals.
Yeah, that comes out in November.
What's Eternals?
It's in the MCU. It's basically like these superhero beings who have existed over the thousands of years of the MCU. It's said that this movie might actually show us like gaps in the current MCU that we know, like what events happened in while these heroes were doing in their movie, that type of stuff. And apparently, even though I heard that the ending of the Eternals movie would also take place post Endgame, so or it's possible that almost the entire movie might. So we'll see.
Alright, and as far as I know, that's what I got for 2020 so far.
Yeah. So for some movies in 2020 that he didn't mention that I'm looking forward to are even though we don't know when this movie's coming out yet because of it being pushed back. There's the Mulan live action remake.
Oh, then I might as well mention A Quiet Place 2 as well.
Oh yeah, can't believe you forgot that one. um, but also there's now I know this is made by Disney, but I still think it looks based on the new trailer I just saw a few days ago on it. I'm really excited for or looking forward to the Artemis Fowl movie. I know I know a lot of people say that it looks like more like a rip off to the Matrix or something. That's one rumor that I heard, but
A lot of things ripped off The Matrix.
yeah, but still, those do some of those rip off movies do good?
Well, maybe some. I'm not.
That's what I'm saying. Like some movies do okay, even if they are sort of rip offs. But I'm not sure if this one is fully a rip off based on the trailer I saw, but I still think it could do fine. I mean, who knows? But there's also the Ghostbusters Afterlife movie that comes out in July, which is the third installment to the original movies from the 80s, which were really good movies back in the day. And even though I wasn't born back then, and neither was he, um, and a lot of people were worried because of it having the subtitle Afterlife that it was a sequel to the 2016 reboot, but thankfully it's not. And I think you said you were okay with the reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, I did when I did my 2016 worst movies. It wasn't at that close to numbers 3, 2, or 1. So, meaning I thought it was an okay movie. And I'm really excited for this third installment because, like I said, we got all the original actors coming back except for Harold Ramis, unfortunately. May he rest in peace. But it's said that this third installment might actually be a tribute to his character, Egon Spengler, because based on the first trailer we got, and the second one should be coming out pretty soon, one of the kid characters almost looks like a younger version of him, which hints that he could be the supposed mysterious dead grandfather that we've heard of. I mean, there's no doubt that he's probably the grandfather, right?
Yeah.
Based on the way her character looked. And the only alive character that I don't think is returning is Rick Moranis, unfortunately. Even though it's been discovered that he was going to come back for a reboot to the Honey I Shrunk the Kids movie, which is strange because why would he come back for that and not the Ghostbusters movies? Because he was big for those.
Lecter.
Oh yeah, this is his little cat Lecter. He's a good kitty. So Ghostbusters is a movie I'm excited for, and now there's one movie I'm not totally sure on whether this movie will do good based on the change in the design, but I'm curious to see how the third installment of the SpongeBob movies does, because now it seems like the entire movie, even underwater, is mostly CGI now. Because the other two movies, when they were underwater, they were the regular 2D like it was in the show, but this one is going to be all CGI, both underwater and above water. And it really surprised me that there was a surprise appearance by Keanu Reeves in this movie.
As a talking tumbleweed.
Yeah. I mean, but he looked like he would do an okay job in that role. I mean, we didn't see much of his character, but maybe the second trailer will give us a little bit more, depending on what happens. But another movie I'm anticipating for is the Morbius movie, which is sort of like I would say it's like a prequel / spin-off movie to the Spider-Verse movies, because we never got to see Morbius be featured in any of the previous Spider-Man movies, and it's been rumored that this movie and Venom 2 could tie into the MCU now, based on the new contracts that Disney and Sony have made. And depending on how well the third Spider-Man movie does, which is another movie I'm anticipated for next year, they might actually continue signing new arrangements, sharing agreements to keep Spider-Man in the MCU, which is really amazing. Because if you guys remember, about almost a few months ago, back in like August and September, I made 2 videos talking about when Spider-Man first got pulled from the MCU, and then when he came back. And to be fair, I mean, sorry, if you heard that weird noise you heard was
just continue.
Okay, sorry, but yeah, but basically I talked about how Sony really should just keep signing the sharing agreements with Marvel, because if they try to pull Spider-Man out of the MCU and try to go back to doing their old stuff, they're probably just gonna make Tom Holland's Peter Parker much worse than even Tobey Maguire's third installment and the Andrew Garfield movies. Because they obviously did not know how to work with the character. I mean, sure, the movies were making a lot of money back then, like, even the third Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire made a lot of money, but not a lot of people liked it, because of the way they did the villains. But yeah, so, and another movie, like I said, Venom 2 was another one, because it's been revealed that Cletus Cassidy, aka Carnage, has a new look in the sequel. Because do you remember when in the first Venom movie when he had the weird curly red hair or whatever in that scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, people apparently hated that. And now from the first set look photos that he has in this movie, he looks like he actually might be the real Cletus Cassidy from the comics, with the Hawaiian shirt, the like curvy hair that he had. And hopefully they do his Carnage incarnation really good, because the way that Honestly, the Venom that we got in 2018 was much better than the one in 2007. So,
I'm looking at Lecter.
yes, sorry about that. Now, moving on to 2021. Is there any movies that you're anticipating for next year?
Well, there's going to be the new Uncharted movie based off the video game series, and there's also going to be the reboot to the Mortal Kombat movies that's supposed to be rated R, a lot more bloodier, just like the games. And I think James Wan is going to be a part of it, so that might be that might work.
Yeah, and for the Uncharted movie, I heard that Tom Holland might be starring in it.
Which is not a bad casting. We're also getting another Matrix movie.
Yeah, Matrix 4. And a fourth John Wick movie, too. Don't forget about that one.
Well, apparently it says it's coming out the same day.
I know, which is surprising. I mean, I guarantee you movie theaters are going to be insanely busy if they keep those movies getting released on the same day.
Then we got the Batman.
Yep, and that's another thing is that I think Batman is made by Warner Brothers, and I was just talking with Matt Davis about this earlier, that Warner Brothers is the only movie company that's not delaying any of their movies. They're not stopping production on any of their upcoming projects.
Alright, then we got the third Spider-Man MCU
Yep.
movie.
And what about Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness? Because I heard
Oh,
that's
yeah.
supposed to be
Yeah.
big.
And then we got another Halloween movie coming out the year after called Halloween Ends.
Which might be, I think, the last movie in the trilogy.
Yeah. Avatar 2, even though that's probably going to get delayed for the 50th time. But who
Well,
knows?
to be fair, it was supposed to get released at the end of this year, but as soon as Disney bought Fox, they thought it would be funny to just push it back to a year before they make a new Star Wars trilogy. Which really, I mean, sure, a lot of people thought that The Force Awakens was really great, but when The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker came out, not a lot of critics and fans were liking the way they...
Well, critics like The Last Jedi.
Well, yeah, but when The Rise of Skywalker came out, they just like... it's the same guy who directed The Force Awakens, but a lot of people thought it was really confusing the way they did the story with, Rey's character and...
Yeah, it was pretty confusing.
Yeah, and the whole surprise with the return of a specific emperor that was from the original trilogy. And it was just... and I think there's one guy who on YouTube who actually made a video talking about this, based on her story with Emperor Palpatine, which was the Black Nerd comedy guy, also known as Andre the Black Nerd. He's also done collaborations with Angry Video Game Nerd in the past. He did a video a few months ago talking about like who Palpatine. Like, because if Rey was the granddaughter of Palpatine, it's like, who in the right mind would have an affair with Palpatine? From the way he looked at the end of the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Which we still never got an answer to that, but, yeah, so other movies that are coming out in 2021 that I'm most anticipated for are, like, there's a live-action adaptation of the Disney classic The Little Mermaid, which I'm really hoping they do well on this movie. I mean, because there's been a lot of controversy, though, surrounding this movie with the casting of the main character, Ariel, and the fact that they've changed the gender of Scuttle in this movie. Because it turns out Scuttle's going to be played by Awkwafina now in this movie, and there's been a lot of people that think the guy who they've possibly cast as King Triton is a terrible idea because of his and Halle Bailey's skin color, and that's Javier Bardem.
Oh, I thought you meant to say Barry.
No, Bailey. It turns out her last name is sort of like ours, but I mean mine. Sorry.
Seriously, it sounds a lot like Barry.
Yeah, but Halle Bailey is how you say her name, but
Well, that's going to be confusing.
Yeah, I think the only difference is she doesn't have the I in her name. It's just Baley, I think. But yeah, and there's one character in the live action movie that hasn't been officially confirmed yet that I've actually been trying to see if I can get in touch with the director about it. And that's Sebastian. Because if you don't know, I've been trying to get into the entertainment business myself, and I want to start off voice acting if I ever get that chance. And have you ever wanted to try to go into that field?
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, since we're both pretty big movie fans and stuff, I mean, we both like doing this stuff so much. It's like, why can't we be a part of that in that field? But and I believe there's a Jurassic World 3 coming out next year, which is going to be interesting because it's been confirmed that we're going to see the return of all three of the original actors from the first Jurassic Park, which are Sam Neill as Alan Grant, Jeff Goldblum as Ian Malcolm, and Laura Dern as Ellie Sattler, which is really amazing. And that just shows you that Sam Neill is still alive, based on how long ago that movie was made.
Well, if he was dead, then they
probably would not have been able to make it.
And they probably would have announced that he was dead.
True. And like he said, Avatar 2 is supposedly coming out next year, but in my opinion, based on the fact that they've already finished up all the filming for 2, and they're only doing stuff for 3 right now, they should just, right now, get in the process of finishing editing Avatar 2 and releasing it at the end of this year like they said they would before Disney bought them out. And plus, based on this whole issue that we shouldn't really talk about right now because we've already talked about it a lot, I feel like that a lot of movies that were going to get released this year, like Fast 9, now that that's gotten pushed back to next year, they should just take some movies that have already done either finished filming or are literally on the verge of getting finished a little bit early to release them during this year. Because, like I said, Avatar 2 is already done filming, but they're still going to make us wait over a whole year from now before we get any sort of trailer for the movie. Which I think is really stupid in my opinion, but... And, now even though this movie comes out around the same time as Avatar 2 for the time being, I'm surprised they're still able to go along with this franchise, and that is the Hotel Transylvania 4th movie. Which, this is the first time it's going to get released in December, from what I've heard.
Was it going to be a Christmas movie or something?
I have no idea. I hope they don't do that, because that would just be ridiculous. However, if we both actually got to see the 3rd movie, I think, together in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And near the end, it's like, it's weird that, not only did, Drac and that human lady get, married, but, I think there's been a weird, like, love triangle between, Dennis and the little werewolf girl, remember? I wonder if they're ever gonna continue with that story.
Mm-hmm.
And also, there's one actor, though, that I'm curious as to whether he's even going to be able to still be a part of the movie, and that's Mel Brooks as Vlad, Dracula's father. Because he's getting pretty old now, and you would think they need to start making this movie as quickly as possible before he dies. And I'm trying to think of any other movies that are coming out next year. Can you think of any?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, as of right now, those are the only movies that we know of that are confirmed for the rest of this year and next year. So, that's basically all for now in this video, and I want to thank Matt Davis for being with me in this video, and also allowing me to use his, camera for this.
Mm-hmm.
So, hopefully we'll be able to get that done. But, anyways, that's all for now in this video, and as always, I'm Matthew Bailey.
And I'm Matthew Davis, Media.
And I'll see all you dudes in the next video.